Hey ladies, it's Charlie O and Lola, and we're the Shady Ladies. We're a couple of love coaches that love to sit on the patio, drink champagne, and talk about sex and love and relationships with no shame. We're here to help you to keep it exciting.
Today we're having Kayleen here to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly on online dating. Hi Kayleen.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
thanks for coming here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, we're so excited
We
to hear all
appreciate picking your brain and
Oh, yes. I have a
listening.
lot to share.
Lot to share. Yeah.
I know you've told us this is why we had you come here, is that you've had some pretty good experiences, some pretty crazy experiences, and some pretty crazy experiences. So we are excited and want to hear all this. So how long have you been doing this online dating?
Well, I've actually been single for 15 years.
Oh, yeah, you got a little bit of experience there.
So I just decided that I was going to venture out and see. It was actually during the pandemic to see what was, there was no way to go out and meet anybody. So I decided I would do the online dating. There's so many apps. It's overwhelming to begin with. So you really have to decide what it is you're looking for, because if you sign up on one app that's just completely not what you're looking for, either you're not going to get any results, or you're going to get results that are going to be completely not what you're looking for, or it's just a waste of time. 100%.
Don't want to do
so
that.
there's Match. There's the ones that you're looking for to get married.
Okay, yeah.
And that's going to be more on the Match side.
Mm-hmm.
So I did sign up on Match, but my thing was that I don't personally, I'm not looking for marriage.
Right.
I'm looking for a companion, a friend, with benefits.
And that's important.
Yeah.
That is so important to define that for yourself.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that everyone needs to decide, what do you want? So
Yes.
then that way you're not disappointed, they're not disappointed, and you're just upfront with that.
Exactly.
And doesn't it is it expensive?
It is fairly expensive.
Okay.
So the thing with Match is that when I put on there that I was not looking for marriage, I was not looking for series, I've had very few responses.
right.
There you
There
go.
have been some, and mostly when they are, they're like, wow, it's nice to see somebody on here who isn't looking to get married,
Right.
or
Right.
the full-time commitment. So it's
So you
just
found
wasn't-
maybe that one wasn't the best.
that was
for
not my
what-
best option because I was not looking for marriage. But if you are looking for marriage, that is a very
Yeah,
good option.
Match.com.
People have very good success on Match.com.
Yeah.
If you're looking for friendship, dating, I have been on Plenty of Fish, which is also it's more of a quick interaction website, dating
Okay.
online site, more so than Match, where you may send someone a message and you'll get a response in the next couple days or something. Plenty of Fish
okay.
is much more instantaneous. But when I put the same exact what I'm looking for on Plenty of Fish,
Like your profile.
the difference in the responses were insane.
Yeah. So night and
So-
day difference for
Yes.
you.
So when I put on the Plenty of Fish one, within 5 days, there were 235
Oh my gosh.
people that were interested.
That would keep you busy.
Holy. Whoa.
But that's where it's overwhelming, where it's not real. So do you want what's real? Like the few that you get on Match or whatever, or do you want to have to go through 235
kind of
pictures
weed them out or whatever.
and see what's real
And
and what's not real?
This is because this is kind of, I'm naive to this, but is there like or is there a certain range of from where they live at? Like
You can set your parameters, so you
Okay.
can set your age limits, you can set
Okay.
your distance, you can set, I mean, pretty much it's how far away and what the ages are.
Okay.
I mean, I think, or if they want, if someone has kids, or if you don't want
Okay,
kids,
gotcha,
or
okay.
stuff like that. So you definitely they'll put you in that group of online dating
Okay.
pool of people.
Nice.
But you also have to be extremely diligent in looking through each person's profile and just, it's sad to say, evaluating what what it says and if it is truthful or non-truthful.
Oh,
Because there's a lot of non-truths in online dating, because you could basically be whoever you want to be
Right.
and say whatever you want to say.
Right.
yes.
And it's all social media. Anything on the social, you don't have to do.
And-
You get away with stuff that you wouldn't normally get
Unless
away with.
it would only be until you actually meet that person.
That's
and
correct.
Then that would be so that's why I don't understand why anybody would want to lie about like when their age. I mean, give or take that, and their what they look like, because then you have to. I mean, if that.
Yeah, at some point you're going to meet them,
If
and
that-
all
yeah.
the truth will come out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there are times where it's been pretty shocking. Let me tell you.
Someone doesn't look like their
You
profile.
see their picture and then you're like, okay, that's not so bad, or that looks
Yeah.
all right. That
Yeah.
person, and then they send you a current picture, and you're like, okay, maybe
Then,
not.
yeah, why post the photo that doesn't even look
Yeah.
like you?
Yeah.
now?
That's like just.
And it's the thing about it is, I feel with me, mine are very just like real pictures, where I've seen others very staged. So I guess it's
Staged.
just
Yeah,
like, what
yeah,
are you looking
yeah.
for? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah, I think a good rule of thumb would be, 1 or 2 staged photos out of 10. Most
Right.
of them should all be.
And a stage photo might be where
you-
you're
posing.
Yeah,
right?
or
you're in
you're
front
at
of a museum.
that's right, or at the beach,
Yeah.
somewhere
Yeah,
where
at
you're
the
not
Yeah. Where you're not. Yeah.
on vacation and you're posing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, like a selfie.
Yes.
Yeah, do not overdo your selfies.
Mhm.
Yeah. It looks a little desperate.
It does, 100%.
It does.
Yes. So,
As far as good dating, so you're saying Plenty of Fish has kind of been the one that you've been using the most.
only because of what my parameters on what I'm looking for is to have somebody to have somebody just to go out with every now and then and have
Friendship.
to
Not
go
a
to
long-term
concert.
yeah, meet for a
commitment.
drink, or
Yeah,
whatever that
very
looks like.
simple.
Okay, great.
No baggage, no drama.
We get questions about hookups, friends with benefits. Is that a good site, you think?
That's like, and unfortunately, that is probably more so one of these sites.
Okay.
Okay.
There are ones that when you're out, Bumble, that
So
you
Bumble is more geolocation.
is location. So if you're at a location and you get on your app, you're going to see people
I
who are
see.
Bumble,
out in your same location.
Oh, and then you can just hook up with them.
That's right.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's like an immediate.
Gotcha. Okay. I need to read up on this, people.
It is confusing.
Yes. So, as far as your experience, so best date ever so far? Do you have kind of a story
Actually,
on that?
what's interesting is a lot of times it's, you just have to be careful. I think it's most important to just kind of like meet in
A safe space.
yes, and I've actually learned a lot, because what I would have considered a safe space, I've been told has not been a safe space.
Oh, goodness.
And so I was surprised, because I thought if you met somebody at a park, that it was a safe space.
Oh, because you were outside or something.
Well, is
Yeah.
this COVID? This is during COVID, right?
I just thought it was a safe place. It was
Period. Like, yeah.
Because it's in
park.
public.
Yes, it was in the public. It was, but I've heard that's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Because,
Can be, yeah.
Because somebody could put you in their
Oh, yeah.
vehicle
In
and
your car.
Yeah.
no
Just
one would
like-
hear you.
That's why you don't meet people at Craigslist to swap, like to buy something. from
Yeah,
the
it's the
car
same
kind of-
situation, and I'm learning. I've made
Well,
mistakes. I'm learning as I go along. Luckily,
Yes.
my mistakes
Safety
have
is
been
important.
harmless.
Yeah.
But I've questioned my sanity when I've left and been like, "What on earth?"
Yeah.
Because people don't tell the truth. They
Right.
tell you what they think you would want to hear.
Yeah.
And then when you actually meet them, then the baggage comes out.
Yeah. The true person.
The
That's
actual
right.
deception. Like I was in, like this is my story. I'm
Yeah.
actually not divorced, or
yeah.
I,
Yeah. Right.
or I,
Yeah. Yeah.
or I
Yeah,
just
so
got out
they-
of jail.
Yeah.
I just-
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's all.
Yeah,
all
there's
sorts of stories.
there's I know so many people who have met people online, and they say they're divorced, but they're not.
right.
And there are some sites out there. We would love to share some links and things like that to provide for ways to keep you safe,
Yeah.
and ways to sort of
I think the only way to keep yourself safe in this situation in online dating is do your due diligence.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There is no other way, unfortunately, and
Yeah.
we have to. You just can't believe anything unless you've done your own research. And it's sad because dating and online has become a research-based
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
You have to.
Well, have to be.
Yeah.
And there are sites, they're paid sites, but you can find out some basic information from their phone number.
Every state has a repository which
Yep.
you enter in their name.
It's all public.
Public
Yeah,
information
public
that you
record
can
and-
find on people. Actually, from what I've heard, is if you just take a person's name and you enter it into Google, you will see some sort of footprint. If you don't see some sort of a footprint of this person ever
That's
existing,
kinda-
they don't exist.
Yeah, that's kind of scary too.
So you're saying like red flags.
You have to make sure everything you do has you have to go into it as almost as sadly to say when you're going on online dating is you have to go with the expectation that you go in looking for what you hope you don't find.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
But you have to because
Yeah.
you meet somebody you like and then they tell you a few weeks later that they're moving to Boise. They're not actually in Idaho, or they're
yeah.
not actually in your state, or they're
Yeah.
So
or they travel, for work, and
Right.
they'll be home next week.
That's
and they
right.
Don't get home till the next week.
Exactly.
And that could be very disappointing for
Yeah.
someone who doesn't want a long-term or a long-distance relationship because they've already maybe been in one, found it didn't really work for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just becomes it's just a trusting thing, you have to
Exactly.
you want to if you're looking for online dating, you're not looking for someone in another state.
Yeah.
You're pretty much you want
Yeah,
someone who
yeah.
it's
Unless you're ready
immediate
to
gr-
move there and
Yeah,
want to know somebody before. I mean, I'm just saying. Yes, I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. Yeah. So.
I mean, most of it's a little bit more of an immediate gratification type situation
Yes.
in
Right,
online
right.
dating.
Right.
Well, and right now, because of now COVID's kind of getting done, before I'm sure there was a lot more this kind of talking, on the phone or, or via text or whatever. And now people are actually starting to have to, now they're getting out and meeting people. So that's going to be a total game changer because, people that are not comfortable face to face.
Well, you're going to find out if
Yeah,
they're truthful
yeah,
or not.
exactly,
It's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
come.
yeah.
Before it was a lot easier to fabricate a story and
Right.
keep that story
Yeah,
going because you couldn't meet that person or you couldn't do certain things. Now you have the ability to call that out right away and say, let's meet for coffee within a couple days or whatever. So you're not wasting valuable time on
Right.
somebody who has ulterior motives.
Right.
Right.
So what about maybe like video dating, especially during COVID? Did you find that maybe a video chat?
I didn't do too much of that. Most of it was just there's apps, you do WhatsApp or you do just chatting. I didn't do too much of the video, but I think that's a super smart way, like extremely important.
Yeah, because I mean,
In
Renee-
hindsight, is always 20/20 and something like that. But absolutely, because if they're not going to want a video chat or they don't want to talk on the phone,
Yeah.
red flags
That's a red
galore.
flag.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't want to see the person that you're talking
Right.
to?
Right. Yeah.
Well, and I think during COVID there was, such a need for interaction and connection, and so I would think that the video calls would be booming.
Yeah,
and
kind
they're
of like
always
how
on.
it took off with work,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
It took off at the
Well, everything's
yeah.
on
in the
WhatsApp. All
office.
those apps that you chat on have the option to make a call
perfect.
right
Oh,
from there,
okay.
or a video
Or
call.
a video. Do they have video?
Video call. I mean, so it's just
Very
like
nice.
right there. Same thing with most of them all have the option to be videoed right away,
Right.
and so that's a red
You
flag.
can meet for coffee right over a video.
I mean, and if, they're
I think
That
some
it's-
people were doing. A lot of people were doing that.
with
when,
wine,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
a date.
Yeah. COVID. When it was
Happy
during-
hour.
Yeah, happy
we
hour.
Yeah.
we did that
did that,
happy
yeah.
hour.
That's
Yes.
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of that you have the ability to meet that person quicker though, and not maybe waste
sure.
time on the communicating for sure, but you don't have as much time invested in
Right,
it as
right.
it seems like during the COVID time we did.
Right.
I have a question that I've always wondered is because after the profiles, is it like a lot time consuming to do that profile thing and fill it all out? Just because I just picture if you're on 2 or 3 sites, do you just copy paste it? I mean, is that
I think that's what people do, and unfortunately, I don't put out much information.
okay?
Some people will, on their profile, they will list everything they're looking for in someone, everything they've been through,
Okay.
and I just feel I don't want to put it too much because the less someone really knows,
even in
is
this
in online dating is
Yes,
better.
that's smart.
It's what do you want to let this person know about you?
right, because you're letting a
And,
bunch more than one person know about it.
Like I said, a friend has been on there, and she writes that her marital status is widowed. All she has is people that are scamming and trying to they think she's weak or that she's looking for someone, or so you just have to be very cognizant.
Moving forward, as far as dating, do you see yourself enjoying it now that you're able to kind of be out there seeing people more and actually meeting the people and talking to them? And
Yeah, I mean, I do. I feel that it's a good connection. So if you find the right people on there that have the same interests as you do, it should be an easier tool to meet up with these people based on those interests.
right,
It's
so I was wondering. This is kind of probably none of my business question, but have you ever did the 2 or 3 dates a day, like you have meeting for coffee?
oh goodness no, oh goodness no, way too
No
much
marathon
effort.
dating.
Asking for
Way
a
too
friend.
much effort. It's hard enough to get actually one that's actually going to be like you really like they actually meet and want to be.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a tough situation. I mean, you have to. Once they say they want to meet you, you get a little nervous and you get a little scared, and you're like, "Do I really want to do this? Is this something I actually?"
yeah. Then you have to get ready, and then
And then you just have to like go and meet somebody that you're just completely out of your comfort zone with.
yeah,
I will say that this whole situation has made me way more confident in just being able to say when I've met someone and I know that there's like nothing. I have said,
Yeah.
you seem
There's
like
not
a-
chemistry.
You seem like a really great person, but I don't sense that we will go
Yeah.
any farther than this or
Which is-
whatever.
yeah, don't waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. kind of thing.
Exactly.
So as far as dating, are you going to stay on one website? Or are you
Yes,
gonna
I actually think I think the best way to actually do it is so that you don't get overwhelmed and there's just too much going on. You need to commit to at least one site for at least a month. I mean, give it a month. Decide how, and maybe just like you said with the whole profile thing, maybe commit to doing one profile like you're serious. And if that's what
Yeah.
if that's how you want to go
if you're
about it.
seriously wanting to do that.
Yeah, and just because otherwise you just get overwhelmed with too many things coming at you at the same time. Focus on one. What kind of people are you getting? If that's not the kind of people you want, get off that site and go to another site where it may match your criteria better. I mean, there are so many options out there that you really need to just Google and find out all of the choices and what each one offers because they are completely different.
Right.
Because it
what
could
they
be a
give.
big time waster too.
It can, and it can be also be a money
And
waster.
yeah, expensive.
Because each one wants you to give a certain, to do a monthly fee to be able to read messages or to be able to see who liked you. So you
Oh.
really need to make sure. Actually, Plenty of Fish is not like that. It is, but I get messages and actually I can message back and forth with people and get likes from people interested in meeting me without paying. So that's an option where in Match, there is not that. If someone sends you a message, they will send you an email that you got a message, but the picture is blacked out or whatever.
Okay.
So I think with being a first-time person, maybe do something that doesn't cost as much.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Or as long as a commitment. Some want you, to do 3 months. Well, that's just, if you're not sure.
yeah, if you hate it and then
That's right. And then you're
Right.
on there.
right, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
But my word of advice is if you decide you're not interested to either pause your profile or delete your profile. No reason to keep it up there and active if you're just truly not
yeah.
interested.
That's good to know.
It's just a waste of energy in your brain.
Yeah, and then the feedback that we have heard is, depending on what region or even what city you're in, some sites are better than others.
Absolutely. Absolutely, depending
So-
on what
Yeah,
part of the,
yeah,
yeah.
it's more or less which are popular in your neck of the woods or
exactly.
whatever.
And you have to do your investigating, like
Yes.
you said.
Yes.
And then what's the one where you can be in a different city and you think you're talking to somebody in your city, but you're really talking to somebody in that city that, like, let's say I would travel somewhere for work, and I was thinking this person was here, like they're, you know, like in Boise, but then I found out I was actually talking to somebody there.
I think that's Bumble. So
is that what Bumble is?
Okay.
Well, I think that's what the feedback was from that one, was that it's GPS location specific to where
so if you think
you
are
are.
so if you think you're talking to somebody and you're on vacation somewhere,
Which would
which would make sense though. If you're on vacation somewhere, you're wanting to meet somebody on your vacation.
Exactly.
I mean,
that totally, but if you don't know that, you're like, what?
Well, exactly.
I'm just down the road. Come meet me.
I'll tell you, the one thing I've learned through it all is be smart, be diligent, and
have fun though.
Go with your gut.
Yeah, go with your gut for sure.
Intuition is your gut instinct is going to be 100% more than accurate on these sites. If you feel something, it's going to be the right feeling.
And I think be honest. So be who you are. Use current photos. Don't overuse selfies. That could look a little desperate.
Yes. Don't make all the selfies of you doing activities. Like where you're skiing or you're doing this. I mean, let's be, how you put what you like to do in your things, and it's great to have one picture of you doing what you like to do. But if you only post pictures of you being active and you doing this or that, it just isn't the real you. And try to make it as real as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. No surprises.
I agree. Yes. I agree.
Yeah. Be who you are. And, I think that both people will be way less disappointed when you do meet that person. There's no surprises. It doesn't feel awkward. You're like, oh, that you don't look like your picture.
Right. That's that catfish thing.
Oh, yeah.
Catfishing.
Where catfishing. Where
that is very common.
Yes.
Yeah. People
So that's,
watch out for that.
Yes. Just be diligent. Go with your gut. But also go with your gut, but go with your mind as well. I mean, your mind's going to tell you if something doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
And more than likely, if you don't feel that it's right, it's not right.
Right. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to online dating.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't hesitate to ask questions.
And if somebody's answer, it's just basically if what you asked the answer doesn't feel right, move on and don't waste time.
Yeah. Don't waste your time. Exactly.
There's too many fish in the sea.
Plenty of fish.
Yes.
Well, I am so happy that you came and talked to us today, and I know we were going to have you back again, hopefully in a few months, to hear now that the online dating has changed so much from COVID. We want to kind of, be able to talk about it again in a few months. So,
well, I hope I have lots to tell.
So do we.
Yeah, it's so nice that people are getting out about again.
Yes, it's changing the whole dynamic of it, though. Actually,
which is great.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah, we're kind of tired of being cooped up a bit, I think. Everyone's ready to get out.
Ready to hear music and be
arms.
out and be in, 100%.
And actually, like, hold somebody's hand or,
Exactly.
kiss somebody or, or just whatever. Yes. Yeah, that physical contact is gigantic. So
yes.
I'm
yeah,
it's great.
It's very healing at this time. I think that's what...
It was necessary. Online dating was a necessity really during COVID because it let you have some interactions with people that you were lacking at the time. But this being out of COVID has now will let us now take those relationships that we've met or new ones and actually go out and do some of the things we've been talking about doing or wishing we could do.
Right. Yeah, so don't be scared. Feel free to get out there. There's still some very social distancing things we can do. You can go for a bike ride. You can still go to the park, maybe not to meet them for the first time, but you can just do a bike ride. But there's things you can do. Go grab coffee somewhere, and if you feel safe in a public place like that, then go for a walk in the park.
Right
Let's do it baby steps, basically.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah. You need to be safe and comfortable is the number one thing.
Safety first.
Yeah, but don't be afraid to get out there and start exploring. Get back out, start dating, stay active, and stay healthy.
That's good words of advice.